Krunchy. Stays crunchy. And milk.
So yesterday was Christmas for me and Nintendo fans like me all around the world because they finally did the big drop about the Nintendo Switch 2. And I am sated by all things with one lone exception. But the lone exception we'll get into. It looks amazing. They've done real good work on making the hardware go to where I feel the hardware needs to go. The features it has on it are kind of impressive for what they managed to fit in this little like 7.9 inch tablet. I'm like, man, y'all really got some effort in there. So the NVIDIA chipset does some ray tracing, does some DLSS, which is something super sampling. Basically, it can make your games look better while actually running them behind the scenes at a lower frame rate and resolution. It's a whole lot of math that happens through actual good use of AI. So in this situation, looks nice. They did some work on the Joy-Con, so hopefully they will, of course, be. I didn't have too much trouble with my Joy-Cons, and in reality, it is the Joy-Cons I did have problems with. It was super simple to send to Nintendo, and they just fix them and send them back to you. So I only had Joy-Cons go bad like a couple of times. And so I play a lot, but also I'm a guy I don't use a Joy. I don't play it handheld very often. I was more of a dock guy and played with a Pro controller. So, you know what I didn't do? I didn't hit record on this thing. So let me do that. But I because of that, like I said, my Joy-Cons, of course, were a little more long lasting than other people's who played it more whatever. But they showed off the next Mario Kart. It's called Mario Kart World. Very cool. 24 racers in basically a unified world that you race within, which is kind of cool as opposed to basically on the individual levels. It's all connected. You can literally just, in fact, when racing, you drive to the next stage, which I think is kind of neat. What else did they announced? They actually announced a ton of games, including if you are an Elden Ring, Bloodborne, Dark Souls kind of gamer. I'm not. My son is, but I am not. My oldest son is. From Software announced a Switch exclusive game called Duskblood, something like that. Dusk, whatever. Here, I want to see if I can find that. Give you that actual title because I think it's Duskblood. But I feel like it might be Dusk Bloods because it's the Dusk Bloods because it's actually a multiplayer game. And it's player versus everyone or everything. So it's going to be an interesting game. And some people were like, no, thank you to that because they don't want From Software multiplayer games. But the next two From Software games are From Software multiplayer games. Just is what it is. So you may not like it, but it is what it is. At the same time that they were doing the direct around the world, journalists from all over the country were getting hands-on with it. So a lot of people put up their reports this morning about, hey, I've played this. This is my experience with it, and what I liked and did not like about it, and so forth. So it's been real fun. Yesterday I actually took the half day, and I only took the half day because, like I said, I told you guys last week I switched positions at work and knew I was going to be in training in the morning. If I had been at work, and so I took the morning off so I could watch the direct, and like I said, it's Christmas for a dork like me, and I had a real good time. They announced the price of the hardware. It makes sense to me. I understand that. Also, it's kind of intentionally tariff proofing itself. Nintendo, after the last Trump presidency, was like, oh, he keep hitting China with tariffs. Let's move production to Vietnam. Thinking they were future-proofing themselves. Turns out, nope, because that idiot came in here and is now throwing tariffs of something like 84% at Vietnam. Stupid. So, though they thought they were doing something smart, it ends up when you have a moron at the helm of some nations, ours, you can't wiggle around it. So they had to go ahead and hit you with that 450, When in reality, I'm almost certain they would have hoped to have done $3.99. And in fact, there is a version in Japan that they sell, which can only be used in Japan and is only and has Japanese language that is mathematically like 340. So it could have been 350. Thank the guy you voted for if you voted for. And that's that. So they kind of, because Nintendo don't play, they want unlike the other companies, they do not want to sell hardware at a loss. So they want to profit off their hardware. And so they indeed are selling it for $450. Lots of bigger prices around the world. Like I think it's 700 Australian dollars. It's like, of course, 650 or something like that in Canada. It's dumb. It's a big price. It's a bigger price than I think people were ready for. It's kind of the price I expected. Actually, it's $50 more than I expected. I expected $3.99, and it's $50 more than that. That's fine and dandy. Was not fine and dandy, but also kind of to be expected was when they announced game prices. And game prices for at least a couple of games they announced is $80. And I'm like, fuck. Games have just recently started going to $70. And so to make this leap to 80, and what it means is, because all these game manufacturers follow suit, is that if Nintendo's selling them for 80, trust me, everybody else is going to sell theirs for 80 sooner than later. I would not doubt if something like Grand Theft Auto is they're going to try to hustle it for like 100. Because they can. They simply know they can. The thing with Nintendo is they make cartridges, and these are new cartridges. They have higher speed memory built into them, so on and so on. So it actually costs more to manufacture them. So it's like, you can understand if you're buying physical, like me, why you'd have to pay the fare. But they also seem to be trying to do a little more wide scale pricing, because some games are coming in cheaper than that. So they're not saying everything's $80, but their top tier shit, Mario Kart, the new Donkey Kong they announced at the event, and so forth and so on, them shits is $80, and you're going to pay them $80 if you want them physically. And I think it might be 80 digitally as well. So just, it is what it is. And that's the part, like I said, I had everything. I was sitting there like, man, they are fucking up. I was prepared for them to be fucking up. And everything they kept announcing during the event, I was like, this is like Christmas. My kids texting me, or my oldest texting me like, yo, they is on something. I'm like, this is crazy. I am shocked by this. And then, of course, they didn't announce the price during the event. It was a press release after the fact. And then everybody just was like, oh, like, I guess, bro, everything costs more. And it's been 8 years since the OG Switch dropped. Come on, bro. It's a price expectation on my part. And maybe I'm weird, but I don't know. I'm like, that all makes sense to me. And I understand the game. And I even understand why the games are going to cost that much. So it just, I only really played Nintendo shit on my Switch. I only play Sony shit on my PlayStation. I play the vast majority of things I play on my Xbox. So it's like, I buy a few Nintendo games a year. It'll be about $10 more than that, and I'm okay with it. But other people may not be so okay with it. Man, you give a damn. You are an Xbox gamer and have been for a very long time, but you give a damn about this Switch situation?
If I played like Nintendo stuff still, like, I would, but like, the last time I had a Nintendo was like a Wii U, and like it barely got used before I sold it.
I remember.
I got it thinking that like, the people I was living with we'd all play it, and I was the only one playing on the little handheld pad. And I like my one buddy and his wife, they tried to like talk me into getting a Switch recently, because I guess like them and some other people have been getting online and doing like Mario Kart online.
Yeah.
But like, I already have an Xbox that like I only play like a handful of times a week. Like, that's just another money sink for like, I'm going to buy it and then I'm going to have to count on you all to like play it to make it worth me putting the money into buying it. Like, what, we played 3 times and I've spent $500 on a game and a system. I mean, I'm just spitballing out all the costs, but hundreds of dollars to play Mario Kart 3 times, like that doesn't seem like a good use of my resources.
Accurate across the board. Also, of course, they just announced a new one. So why the fuck would you buy the old one?
Right.
And what else they now? Oh, so the rub for Nintendo for years has been like communications, voice communication in the systems are poor or challenging to use or whatever. And they have a friend system that's kind of people are like, that's so goofy. And I'm just like, once again, bro, I've been a Nintendo dude for literally my entire video game playing life. So since the NES for sure. And so I'm like, everything Nintendo does, I'm not saying it makes good sense. It makes Nintendo sense. And so I'm just like, I don't know. But they announced some real Discord-like features for how the communications will work going forward, including a camera that you can talk to people with and play online with. The camera they use the camera for some gameplay elements. You could be playing your game while your friends are at the bottom of the screen playing their game and you are talking. You could be playing the same game, of course, but you could also be playing your own individual games and just kind of hanging out in basically a Discord-esque call. And if you look at it, everybody who looked at it was like, oh, that looks just like Discord. So of course I'm like, oh, okay, well, there you go. I don't use Discord like that. I'm in a few Discords that are basically just for podcasts I listen to. And they give me the Discord as a bonus. And I'm like, every now and again, I'm in there chatting. So that's about it. But I was like, that's kind of neat. And they're, of course, going to sell a camera, but it seems to be you can use any USB-C enabled camera to just attach it to the top there, and you can use that camera. So you don't have to buy the one from Nintendo. They announced a new Pro controller, and basically it's their standard controller. So, but unlike a lot of people's standard controllers, this one actually comes with back paddles. So, kind of like the Pro. What is the PlayStation one called? Yeah, but what's that PlayStation one called?
I don't know what the PlayStation. I don't have a PlayStation, so I don't know.
I think theirs is called the Dual Edge, and of course what's the Xbox one called?
Elite.
Yeah, the Elite. So, but like, you know what? I can actually probably. I forgot. This is a visual medium now. Switch to Pro controller. Oh, well, look, let's take a look at some accessories there, everybody. Give me a second. Let me share my screen. All right, so let's take a look at some of these fun little Sigma hooters. So that's the Pro controller. I'm kind of it's nothing I'm so much excited about. I can always appreciate a new controller, and this one is real nice. I don't know if you can see that right there because I can barely see it myself. But they have, like I said, it has little back bumpers that you can program to how you will use. Let me see if I can. There you go. Little back bumpers right there that you can get down with if you are a type of person who likes that as your. What do you use your back bumpers for?
So I have them programmed on Call of Duty for sliding and jumping. Okay,
just more comfortable in that regard for you.
Well, like on the controller, there's like certain game actions that like you need multiple of the D-pad for, like you're using the D-pad to do, and you want to combine it with like a crouch or a jump. You can't hit both buttons unless you're playing some weird fucking claw style.
Okay.
So mapping like the X and the A to the paddles in the back allows you to hit like B and X at the same time, or B and A or whatever.
So you just get a squeeze, if you will. You know what I'm saying? That kind of works. Okay, so that's a good use of. I figured I would.
But you can map anything from the pad to those buttons. Yeah. I just specifically use it for those game actions.
Yeah, but it's pretty clean looking stick.
I'm sorry to keep cutting you off.
No, it's a conversation.
But I could also have this. Can actually have up to 4 paddles on the back.
Yeah,
I just have the 2.
One. You just you go the 2, and this one only has the 2, and it's probably because the research probably says people are like you; they just use the 2, and are fine with it,
Yeah, it becomes like I'm not. If I was a kid and I grew up having 4 paddles and my brain developed that way, I can imagine that it would be a great tool to have the 4.
Yeah.
I had to adjust to just having paddles on the back to begin with, period.
Yeah.
So I'm at the 2, and I'm comfortable with the 2 for now.
Fair. But yeah, I like the overall look of their Pro controller. These are, of course, the new Joy-Cons. They're bigger because the system itself is bigger. They attach magnetically as opposed to mechanically. So there's magnets in the system right around at this point where they attach and they lock in place. And on the back, I don't know if they have a picture of the back of them. They don't. On the back, and there's a button, and it's basically how you close the circuit and can pull them off. What's neat about these Joy-Cons is they also they can function like a mouse, like a computer mouse. And they showed the new Metroid game, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Somebody using it old school, like basically like Wii style. Left controller kind of like your nunchuck, and then the other one as your Wiimote, and you're aiming aiming mouse style. And I think that would be pretty killer in like Call of Duty or something like that. Because of course, Microsoft swore when they brought Activision that they would make sure to bring Call of Duty to the Switch. So probably this year, maybe next year, it seems more likely we'll get Call of Duty on the Switch. And somebody playing Call of Duty basically with Wiimote nunchuck style controls could be a real deadly shot. Can't believe they still sell these wheels after all this time, but people love them for kart. So I hadn't bought a wheel since the Wii, but I find it hilarious that they still make these. So people still out there getting they spit on. But and of course, here's the Nintendo Switch camera. And again, you don't have to use this camera, but it's optional. And and in fact, there already is a third party that announced one, and the one they announced is going to look like a Piranha Plant from Mario Bros. The dock is interesting to me because the dock, unlike the one for the Switch, is not passive. It indeed has a fan in it. It runs at a much higher power draw, and it's really going to be interesting to see how that all works. These cases are strange. Also, it's going to use micro SD, but it's a new form of micro SD. It's going to use micro SD express cards, which are a bit more expensive, but they have a faster transfer rate. So everything should load quicker and move quicker in general on the new hardware. Again, I'm a Nintendo guy, so of course I'm hyper excited for it because it's exciting for me to have some new Nintendo hardware to kick around and play with. Pre-orders go in America on the 9th. So by the time you hear this, they probably would have already happened. Let's take a look. Yeah, day before this episode comes out, pre-orders went live in America. They're already live in Europe and across most of the world. And I don't know how they're doing. Hadn't heard anything left or right of what's going on today. But Nintendo has had an event today, and we'll have another one tomorrow that's called a Treehouse thing. And basically, they show off the hardware and the games and stuff like that there. And people who are angry about the price of the games were in the chat, and all they were typing is "drop the price, drop the price, drop the price." So that's if you were watching that event today on YouTube and probably Twitch. I don't use Twitch like that. All up and down the chat was drop the price in all caps, and I'm just like, I get it. Those, let's say 80,000 people who are real passionate, really think that they are making a stink that's going to get Nintendo to change their mind. The Switch itself has sold almost 150 million units. You are not even a splash in a bucket. So you're a gnat, and you just it just is what it is. The funny thing is, they have done this before, where they came out with a price, it just didn't seem to work, and they've dropped it quickly. And what they ended up doing was, for those people who bought it at full price, they made them what they called at that point in time ambassadors, and they gave them a bunch of dope. They gave them a bunch of dope games that nobody else could get on that hardware. It was the 3DS. When the 3DS initially dropped, it was $50 more than what it ended up going for. And people who bought it at that price, and there was a lot, they're the early adopters, ended up becoming Nintendo ambassadors, and they got a selection of, I think, like 10 games that Nintendo swore they would never put on that hardware only those people who own those 3DSs would get those games, and they stuck to that. They never released those 10 games on 3DS hardware, and I thought that was just real honorable of them. That's the point, man. Nintendo is not. I'm not gonna go so far as to say an ancient company, but they've been around since like 18 something or other. Nintendo. Let's just do a quick wiki. Man, you typing in Nintendo right now. Wikipedia. There we go. Founded in 1889. So
didn't they used to make like ceramics or something?
Hanafuda cards. They used to make playing cards. That's what they started out as. And for a very long time, the same family ran that company. Like it was
the proud bloodlines of the Nins.
I forgot his name was Yamauchi.
When they merged with the Tendos.
It was the Yamauchi clan actually, and only
went down yonder on the Hamaguchi.
I want to say it was right around the time the Wii came out that Yamauchi retired and then died because he was very old. And that they changed of leadership, and then the next guy was Iwata, and Iwata had been a game maker, a game designer at Nintendo throughout its time, and he ended up passing away from I think he had pancreatic cancer, and so now we're on to like basically we are only 2 CEOs outside of the family that founded this company. They are an old school company, and they just do things a real old school way. And you'll hear about that, which is like I said, when they announced this hardware yesterday, when they were going through it, and they're announcing all these features that are just like, those are real now features. Nintendo hasn't made any hardware that is basically using now, technology in a very long while. So to be making to be making a really current piece of equipment, I don't know. I think that's just wild to me and exciting to me. And I'm if I can pre-order it, if I can get a pre-order, great. If I can't, such is life. I'll get it at some point, and that is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is to be a gamer in this day and age. We'll see what the old resellers are going to do next week when it goes up, and see whose bots is crawling and creeping the best, and so forth and so on. Apparently, people are buying up the SD Express cards all over the internet now and trying to resell them at twice the MSRP. So they're already out here looking. So I think Nintendo will be fine, even though people are mad about this price. I think they'll be okay. So there you go. I just dorked out about Nintendo for like 20 minutes, y'all. Let's probably go into an actual regular show so we get through it and get it all good. Let me pull up my notes. I'm gonna rap to you. Probably not gonna rap to you because this is some good. I'll read to you these lyrics because they're fun lyrics, and then we'll get to the show proper. No worry, worry not. Today's agenda. Got the suitcase up in the Sentra. Go to room 112. Tell them Blanco sent you. Feel the strangest if no money exchanges. I got these kids in ranges to leave them niggas brainless. All they told is stainless. You just remain as calm as possible. Make the deal go through. If not, here's 12 shots. We know how you do. Please make your killings clean. Slugs up in between. Their eyes like true lies. Kill them and flee the scene. Just bring back the coke or the cream, or else your life is on the shelf. We mean this, Frank. Them cats we fucking with put bombs in your mom's gas tank. Let's get this money, baby. They shady, we get shady. Dress up like ladies and burn them with dirty 380s. Then they come to kill our babies. That's all out. I got gats that'll blow the wall out. Clear them all out. Fuck the fallout. Word to Stretch, I bet they pussy. The 7 digits push me. Fucking real, here's the deal. I got 100 bricks, 14.5 a piece. Enough to cop a 6, buy the house on the beach. Supply the peeps with Jeeps. Brick a piece, capiche? Everybody getting cream, no one considered a leech. Think about it now. That's damn near 1.5. I kill them all, I'll be set for life. Frank, pay attention. These motherfuckers is henchmen, renegades. If you die, they still get paid. Extra probably. Fuck a robbery. I'm the boss. Promise you won't rob them. I promise. But of course you know. I have my fingers crossed. Niggas bleed just like us. Hey, welcome to it. Stays Crunchy and Milk. It's episode 569, and big up to the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. I'm your host, Interstate 713, joined by the other host, the eBay Emperor himself, Lunchbox 2099.
I came to work today.
As did I, but not tomorrow, which I think I talked about on the show last week, so don't worry now.
Well damn right. You ain't coming to work tomorrow. We ain't recording tomorrow.
But Xander got pulled over and has a traffic court, so I'm going to go with him to hang with him in traffic court tomorrow.
Riding dirty on one of his 27 vehicles.
This was one of his motorcycles. You are absolutely correct. But we are here, people, and we're going to do some show. It's going to be a good time. I got a couple news stories for you, both of them Browns related, because I just didn't feel like doing politics this go around, because sometimes I just have had my fill. So let me grab my stories and click on this here. First one. I thought this is neat. Boxing, maybe you'll agree or maybe you won't. Cleveland Browns stats during AAFC years have officially incorporated into the NFL record books. The Browns won the AAFC all 4 years from 1946 to 49 before moving up to the NFL. The changes move men like Paul Brown and Otto Graham up some all-time lists. This is Josh Dubow from AP. He's one of their football writers. Palm Beach, Florida. Paul Brown just moved up a few spots on the NFL career coaching wins list. The NFL owners approved a proposal by the competition committee on Tuesday to incorporate player, coach, and team statistics from the All-American Football Conference into the official NFL records. The AAFC existed from 1946 to 49, with Paul Brown's Cleveland team winning the title in each of those years. The Browns, San Francisco 49ers, and the original Baltimore Colts that joined the NFL in 1950. The Colts disbanded after 1 year before returning as a new franchise in 1953. The AAFC had published a statistical supplement after its initial season in 49 that included single game records, but score sheets from all the individual games weren't available at the time. But those score sheets have now been recovered, and after consultation with the Elias Sports Bureau and the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the stats are now a part of the official record. The NFL incorporated stats from the AFL into its official records after the leagues merged in 1970. That gives the Browns 52 additional regular season and playoff wins to his previous total of 170, Brown, not the Browns. It gives Brown, Coach Brown, Paul Brown, moving him from 22nd place all time to 7th with 222. The incorporation of the AAFC stats includes the 1948 season, where the Browns went 14-0 in the regular season and then won the championship game for a perfect 15-0 season. Only one NFL team has gone through a regular season and playoffs undefeated, with the 1972 Miami Dolphins going 17-0. Some of the members of that team celebrate the accomplishment each year with champagne after every team in the NFL has at least one loss. They can still do that as the NFL's only undefeated team in the playoff era that began in 1933, with the NFL planning to list the AAFC champions separately in the record book. The quality of I don't know why that just moved. That was crazy. I didn't even move my mouse. The quality of the AAFC as a league was shown when the Browns won the NFL title in 1950 in their first year in the new league. God dang. There are 2 coaches and 15 players from the AAFC in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, including notable names like Otto Graham, Lou the Toe Groza, Elroy Hirsch. They didn't put the toe. I want y'all to know. I know that man's nickname is the Toe. Elroy Hirsch, Tom Landry, Marion Motley, Joe Perry, and Y.A. Tittle. Tittle now moves from 65th in career yard passing to 44th between Steve Young and Troy Aikman. and Motley's 5.7 yards per carry are the best ever for any running back with at least 750 carries and fourth best for any player. Groza moves from 41st all-time in scoring to 24th with 1,608 points. For team records, the 1948 49ers now have the single-season rushing record with 3,663 yards, eclipsing the previous mark, 3,296 by the Ravens in 2019. San Francisco's 6.7 yards per carry that season are also the new record ahead of Baltimore's 5.76 this past season. So, I don't know. I just like that. I was like, that's pretty kick-ass.
I found I saw a meme this morning that was pretty funny where, in like Captain America when Steve Rogers and what's Anthony Mackie's character's name again? I know he's Falcon, but like, what's his like actual name?
Well, now he is Captain America, but I don't know what his name is.
Well, I mean, in this movie, he was Falcon.
Yeah. Nigga, Falcon. Sam Wilson.
Wilson, yeah. When they're running around the
circle,
pond, the circle in like DC, and like Steve just keeps passing him. I saw a meme where it had the Steelers 6 championships on Sam, and then it had Steve Rogers as the Browns passing him with 8.
Oh my gosh, I love it, man. I can't believe Sam Wilson was not coming to me, but there you go. Word to the OG Browns, and anyway. Yes, we'll leave it at that. Next story. Like I said, I had a fun time watching this clip. I watched the snippet of this. I didn't watch the whole podcast episode. I think I've only watched like 2 full episodes of New Heights. And one of them was all basically about Ted Lasso. So come on, you knew I was going to watch it. But Northeast Ohio natives Jason and Travis Kelce voiced strong opposition to Cleveland Browns Brookpark Stadium proposal on New Heights podcast. This is Anna Meyer, who's from Channel 3. WKYC is where I got this from. She wrote this up. Cleveland. The Cleveland Browns proposal for a new indoor stadium in Brookpark is drawing strong reactions, including criticism from retired NFL star Jason Kelce and his brother, Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce. During the latest episode of their New Heights podcast, the Kelce bros, who grew up in Cleveland Heights, voiced their disapproval of relocating the Browns' home stadium from downtown Cleveland and replacing the open-air venue with a domed facility. Jason, who recently retired after a 13-year career with the Philadelphia Eagles, was particularly blunt. Something really stupid out in Brook Park that they're trying to get everybody excited about. The stadium no longer being in downtown, he said. Travis, a 3-time Super Bowl champion and one of the NFL's top tight ends, also questioned the decision, emphasizing the atmosphere of a downtown stadium. I feel like sports towns, it feels better with it when it's downtown, he said. While acknowledging that their stadium renderings look impressive, Jason made it clear he prefers the current location. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I don't know what you want me to say. I don't like it. I'll tell you what, though. It doesn't matter how cool it is. I'm not going to like this. The thing looks sweet. I like the old stadium because it's downtown. I'd rather play in a dilapidated stadium than this. The 6-time All-Pro center added that he enjoys it when weather conditions impact football games, referencing a snowy playoff game at Lincoln Field in Philadelphia earlier this year. All I know is I like when the elements play a role in the game. I like when the snow is involved. We had an awesome playoff game here at the Link this year in the snow against the Rams. That wouldn't have happened with an indoor stadium, said Jason. Travis, who is this is pointless. Why would you even write this into this? Who is dating Taylor Swift, expressed a personal connection to the downtown game experience. Literally, that sentence did not need to be here.
Yeah, I did because they needed to get her name in there for the Google algorithm.
You are 1,000% right. That is for another thing. Good Lord, that really was. It bothers me to my core that they thought they needed to do that. I'm fine with him dating Taylor Swift. It's unnecessary to this particular story. There's something about taking the.
It'd be like writing like Travis Kelce, a millennial aged white man who's dating Taylor Swift.
And then talking about coffee from another restaurant. Yeah. It's weird. What did he say? I'll type it up. There's something about taking the Rapid all the way downtown, and I'm sure they'll have some sort of way that you could take the Rapid out to Brook Park from everywhere in Cleveland. But it's just such a unique feeling going downtown, feeling the excitement of everyone going down to the busiest part of the city and the atmosphere that it creates in Cleveland. Travis also made it clear that his preference is to keep the stadium downtown. Just do it in downtown Cleveland. We love it being around the lake. As the episode continued, Jason was even more blunt in his opposition to new plans. I don't like indoor stadiums, and I don't think that it's going to be in Brookpark. There's a 0% chance that I like what's happening in Cleveland right now. Their full comments can be watched below. On Monday, on Monday when this article went up, don't think that I'm talking about Monday of this week. On Monday, Browns owner Jimmy Haslam conceded that it's possible the stadium could end up staying on the lakefront in downtown Cleveland. According to Mary Kay Cabot on why does this keep moving? I think Channel 3's website just be thinking it's time to jump to the next story and they got to chill. According to Mary Kay Cabot of 3 News partner Cleveland.com, Haslam said it will come down to whether Ohio lawmakers approve $600 million in funding for the new stadium proposal in the budget at the end of June. If so, the plan is to have shovels in the ground to begin construction in Brookpark in the first quarter of next year. If not, Haslam told reporters that the Browns would move to Plan B, which would be renovating the existing Huntington Bank Field in downtown Cleveland. On October 17, 2024, the Browns confirmed their plans to move to Brookpark with an adjacent mixed-use development alongside the Dome Stadium. Team owners argued renovating the current stadium would not solve long-term issues, and that a Dome Stadium would allow them to host big events year-round and generate more revenue in the region. Lord. Y'all have heard me talk about this, how I feel about the stadium. Ain't no point in me digging into that shovel any deeper. It's word to the Kelces for expressing themselves on their platform about why they don't bang with the ideal of a Brookpark stadium. Neither do I. But they actually, I just was reading about, again, I didn't want to do politics this week. I was just reading about some of the budget situation the state is working on right now. And of course, they currently have that $600 million in the budget to be voted on, and it'll probably pass and they'll get their money and we'll be moving to Brookpark in 2020. How long does it take to build a fucking stadium?
A couple of years. I mean, they're not just building a stadium; they're building like a shopping plaza around it and shit.
Yeah, but that shopping plaza, that can pop up in that months, weeks. You know what I'm saying? I get that, but I mean, building a whole stadium, probably 2028, 2029 is when we would.
Well, 2029 would be the first year that they would have to play in the stadium because I think the lease is up at the current stadium in 2028.
So there you go. That probably makes sense. Yeah, there you go. A dome. It's not really a dome. It's actually if you look at it, it's a glass roof.
It's like a ranch home that's built those little houses from the 90s that they built into the ground so they were cooler.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like cooler like they were like awesome. I meant cooler like temperature wise.
Correct. It's
gonna be kind of like what this is because they're building next to an airport.
Yeah. The Captain Stadium, is kind of inset into the ground. And I kind of like that because basically you're at the top of the stadium when you're in the parking lot. Mm-hmm. I just always thought that was kind of neat. So
yeah, I've seen other like college ones like that too.
Yeah, dig a hole. But that is your news stories for the week. I hope you enjoyed them.
Can we make that into a chant? Dig the hole. It doesn't sound as good as build the wall.
Dig the hole. You workshop that. You take that around to people, see what they think. Dig the hole. Oh my God. But that means it's time for me to hand the reins of the show over to this man. And he has a whole package that comes with it. So let me click play on this because it's time for some story time with Lunchbox.
I hope it's like the Wonder Years where like you got me like playing in the front yard by a white picket fence, and then like me looking lovingly into like my crush's eyes as I kiss for the first time, and then all of a sudden I'm getting on a boat to war. And then,
I thought it would involve books in some way, story time, but damn.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I guess reading Rainbow works too. The music gets me every single time.
Why?
It sounds so seductive. It's just like la, 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 la.
I'm glad you appreciate that because I put in some effort and work on trying to make everything kind of work for everybody. So, I'm glad you kind of bang with that. because it is for you. And I thought, that's nice. That's a nice little ditty to go with story time with Lunchbox. Sir, how you been the last couple of weeks? I ain't talking to you a little bit here. I mean, actually, we text. We ain't texting every day because that's not by boxing I get down, but we've been texting. So I'm basically aware of your life. But how you been doing, man?
I've been, for the most part, pretty okay. I would say, like, I've been working. I went to a Cavs game with my brother. I went to a concert at that same arena on Monday. Going to a comedy show there next Friday. I spent a lot of time in the Rocket Arena lately.
Who'd you see? Did you go to the Disturbed show?
Yep, I did.
The former Helmer was there with her man. So y'all were in the building together.
I did not run into them.
No, I mean, hey. Oh my gosh. How was the Wimbiana list of Spurs?
Man, that was tragic in that, like, I literally just had this conversation with my sister like an hour ago because I was at my dad's house. Well, probably an hour and a half ago at this point.
Yeah.
But I was at my dad's house before we did the show tonight. My sister was there, and she's the one who got me the tickets. And when obviously when I got the tickets, I got it with the intention of seeing Wembanyama.
Yeah.
And then, like, he's out with the blood clot in his shoulder for the rest of the season. And then, like, when my brother had never, like, I guess my brother had only been to one Cavs game in his entire life.
Yeah.
So he kind of, like, invited himself to use my spare ticket, which was fine. But we were like, all right, well, at least we get to see De'Aaron Fox. And De'Aaron Fox went out like a week and a half before the game for the season with like surgery on his hand or something.
Yeah.
So the Spurs were in full on tank mode. But I got to see Chris Paul in person. I was surprised he didn't punch anybody, but he was there.
Is he a known puncher motherfucker?
Oh, he is a known ball buster, like actual ball buster. Like going all the way back to college.
Man, why do I know? I feel like I've heard like tell of Chris Paul being a dirty player.
He's a shit talker too.
Oh,
I saw him getting into it with fans in the first row. Like, oh yeah, it was like they were shooting free throws on the one end, and him and Garland were down at the other end in the corner.
Yeah,
and I could Chris Paul was steady on talking to people in the first row. Like, I couldn't hear him, but I was close enough to kind of see it happening.
Yeah,
and yeah, like he was talking shit to like the play. He he's the consummate like vet out there where like he's trying to coach his team, trying to play, talking shit to the other team, and then after the game, dapping up everybody like "good job, young blood" kind of shit, Yeah,
but say he's the president of the Players Association, so I
I mean, just because you're a president or something, don't make you well liked.
They like that's the guy we
by
need.
Everybody,
That's the guy we need running this operation because he's a fucking piece of shit.
But the game ended up being good. Like, Cavs pulled it out. Like, I was nervous because they were definitely blowing it. They were blowing my parlay too, but they ended up pulling it together. Like they'd been on a rough patch before that, and they haven't been playing particularly well like lately. So it's been like I was watching the Knicks game, and my buddy's like, "Oh, they're gonna win," and I'm like, "I don't know, it's 50-50."
Well, yeah, that is literally the math.
Yeah, but before I would have said like, "Oh yeah, they'll win," like with absolute certainty in my heart. Now I'm just kind of like, I hope so.
I feel like everybody has been turning it on right here. Well, because they have to. You have to turn on the end of the stretch because you don't want to end up in the play-in or you don't want to end up out of the playoffs in general. So every team we had a whole West Coast swing that we lost. I think we lost every game, right? No, we
lost the first three, and then we won the last two.
Yeah. So it was a tough road swing, and then like I said, we talked about this last week on the show, but I was looking at the schedule. I'm like, we got the Knicks twice, we got the Pacers twice. We basically just to wrap up basically everything. So we should stay on this side of the country for the last bit of the remainder of the season, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, they only have to win one more game, and they lock up the number one seed.
Yeah.
So after that, like the games don't matter. Like they're going to start resting people. So
good.
I was more concerned with them locking up the one seed that and not blowing my gambling bets.
Well, see, we were guessing last week, and I was like, I think it's this many games they got to win, and I was like, I think it's 5. Turned out it was 6, but I felt good that my guess was so close, and I literally said, if Dan was here, he'd tell us exactly the number. So you were missed because we needed your insight, but I felt good because I was pretty close, and so. Yeah, when the last time I checked it was 6 games. It was 6 games. Now you say we're down to 1. So there you go. We a Celtics loss or a Cavaliers win takes care of business, right? Yeah. So.
Yep. Yeah. So did that. I don't know. Otherwise, like I've been kind of like it's been a lot of work. I know like I'm like downplaying my life, but like I haven't really. Outside of like going to the things I've already named, I've just been kind of at home. Like I playing some Call of Duty, watching some TV, taking some naps.
Yeah.
It's been like kind of like a uneventful time, but like that's good because like we're in like a transition period economically, and you know I'm not trying to go out here and blow hundreds of dollars on a whim.
Yeah. We are, well, whatever. We are also in the midst of just spring in Cleveland, which is basically winter part 2, the weird sequel. Because today it's like 70 degrees, felt great out, and it's supposed to snow here in a couple of days.
It feels great outside, but that doesn't mean my body feels right. Like I've been fucked up all day.
Yeah. Because like I said,
it was 40 yesterday.
Yeah.
And then today, my body's like, what the fuck is this?
Look at this morose motherfucker right here.
Yeah, it was like, my body's like, it was cold yesterday. Now today it's hot. We can't handle these swings.
Yeah, it's bad. It just gets worse as you get older.
That's how I know I'm getting older, man. Like last couple of days, like I started getting like a little bit of a hot flash in the like my side of my calf.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? And it would come for a couple seconds and it goes. And it's not very often. But it was like I noticed it, you know? So then I start like Googling shit, and it's like WebMDing yourself to death, because then it's just like, well, you could have varicose veins. You could have arterial plaque in your leg that makes it so that your heart can't get enough blood from your extremities. You could have a fucking blood clot. And I'm just like, or it's, you know, it's like, or you could have like nerves, you know, hurt from being fat and not moving. And it's just like all these possibilities. And I'm just like, am I dying or not?
Like, give me the easiest one. What's the one that's like, oh, your legs is hot. Go fan that motherfucker. That's what I need.
I think what it was is I was wearing, like, the jeans I was wearing were a little tight around my calf area.
Yeah.
Like I'm hoping, like, you know, obviously I'm not like the picture of health. So, and I do work a fucking sedentary job where I sit on my ass 8+ hours a day, you know. So it's like, it could be these things, but like it literally just started in the last couple of days when I wore these jeans to like multiple events out of the house.
Yeah.
And so like and they're tight around the calf because I have big calves. Like, even being a fat guy, I have muscular calves because I've been big my whole life. Played basketball and, you know, everything. So it's like my calves are fucking yoked.
Yeah.
And so like wearing jeans, like they're great around the thigh area, these particular jeans, I mean, but they're also tight around the calf. So it's possible that like I may have pinched a nerve in the side of my leg, and that's why I'm getting these little hot flashes until it fucking heals. Or it's possible I have plaque in my leg and I'm gonna die. I don't know.
I'm going to go for the easiest answer, which is you wore these new pants and they kind of fucking fucked your leg up a little bit. Because that's the sensible answer there.
I know. And like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm being like over the top right now because I'm scared, damn it.
I get you. I hear you. Because that's what WebMD does. It'll scare the shit out of you. But the most logical, most likely answer is, oh yeah, I did wear those pants that were kind of tight on my leg. And that's where my leg is being bothered at. There you go.
I know. And you know, you can't, this is one of the things that I've come to realize is like dealing with anxiety when it's self-inflicted like that. It's a challenging battle that, you know, requires patience and understanding with yourself.
Yeah. Which
when you're in the middle of a freak out isn't always the easiest thing to provide yourself.
Yeah.
I've had this happen with bowling before where like, you know, bowling, you kind of jump into it in a way. Like there's a 15-minute like warm-up period where like you're doing practice shots, but like you go like I said, I'm obviously everyone here knows I'm overweight. I'm trying to work at it with various things. We're in progress, but you know, I'm not there. And I work a fucking desk job where I sit at this particular desk I'm at right now every 5 days a week. And so like going from that to like now I'm up on my feet throwing a 15-pound ball. There's like your body has to kind of get warmed up and shit. And there's been some bowling weeks where like my heart gets beating a little bit, my body's like getting into it, but like I feel it, and then it's like all of a sudden it triggers thoughts of like, oh my god, my heart's beating faster. Oh my god, am I having a heart attack? Oh my, like it snowballs. Like it's like PTSD from before I was on blood pressure meds and everything, because it's like blood pressure meds are a great tool, but it's not like I'm cured. It helps. The only thing we're really cured is getting this extra weight off. So it's like I know these things, but the thought still creeps in, and so then it turns into a panic, which makes the situation worse. So I've kind of had to learn how to calm myself down and reset, because I get sweaty, I get shaky, I get like tense. I start like, hyperventilating a little bit. Like I know the triggers. And so I just have to, I found ways to try and work through it faster than I used to. Cause before it would fucking wreck me for a while. Like there was one night where I bowled almost an entire game and I was in the middle of a panic attack the entire time. No one knew. Wow. And like that's how like when you go through these things yourself, you start to learn a little more patience for other people's situations when you find out what they're going through. Like when you like people getting cut off in traffic and all these things, like you don't know what the other person's going through in that other car, or like if you cut someone in line, or if you're just like rude to somebody, or like just because someone's smiling doesn't mean that like everything on the inside is like I literally bowled an entire game with a panic attack, and I don't know, I couldn't even fathom how I was doing it. I was just kind of like doing my best to like throw the ball, but like I wasn't breathing half the time, but no one knew until it was over and I finally said something. But like, you just got to find a way to get yourself through.
Though I know you are more of I'm going to figure this out. Have you considered seeking help for this? Because
it doesn't happen as often as like it may sound like based on this story.
Yeah.
And it happens less the better I feel. So I think and I've talked to my doctor about it before. Like I was he had given me anxiety medication when I first got my blood pressure meds.
Yeah.
But like I didn't only use them like a couple times, because like the healthier I got, the better I felt, and the less it happened. So the less I felt like I needed them.
Okay.
And they're expired at this point. Like
indeed. But the answer, of course, then is yes. You've spoken to somebody about it. You have some help if necessary, because you can just be like, "Hey, read that up for me if need be," and that's good. That means you're doing more than a lot of people who just like, I'll pray it away, or don't believe that's what's happening, and so forth and so on. And so it's just it's good to hear that you did speak for somebody and got the help needed, and you have kind of learned how to deal with it internally a little better, and that's great to hear, man. So
yeah, it's like it came with experience. I wish it didn't happen, because like it does suck when it happens. Like it's not a fun time, but I can get through it better these days. And understanding myself helps too. Like when it rains, I get like the nerves in my shoulders kind of tense up, and I get like tingly and pain, and like sometimes a little burning sensation and shit. And it took a long time for me to kind of realize what the fuck was going on with that. Like barometric pressure changes. You learn a lot about like the world around you when you're kind of like forced to.
Yeah. Keep a barometer about?
I don't, but like it's easy, it's on the weather
It's
app.
on our phone, I know, but I was like, I kind of want a barometer because they kind of look cool. So there's a swag to a way a cool because they sell different kinds, so they have like cool. I remember like where can I find it? I remember seeing like a glass one.
Barometer swag. That is a new one.
Well, there you go. Just type up that show. Thank you, sir. Or barometric swag is what we're going to name that. Barometric swag. Oh man. Hold on, I'm gonna find you a dope barometer. You were like, yeah, that is kind of fly.
Right. So it's gonna be like a Felix the Cat clock looking thing or something.
No, bro, it was like I remember. You remember like Sharper Image?
Like a '90s thing.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. It was definitely more '90s than anything else. They would like have these optional like, and it's like the one I'm remembering particularly was like it was like several tubes of like brown glass that had these like things floating in it to like it's like I'm trying to see if I can find one. I'm looking at the various images of barometers, but I want to find one that's like let's just type in fancy barometer and see if it comes up. Actually, how about I just
barometer swag's not coming up?
How about I just look for the Sharper Image barometer? Maybe they'll bring back some from back in the day. Like I said, I have such a specific one in mind. I wish I could find that. But most of these all look the same. Oh, well, I said I'd look up one time for fancy barometer. Keep going.
Well, while you're doing that, I could tell the people that I stepped into an Ohio dispensary for the first time last weekend.
Which one in particular?
It was out in Woodmere on the east side.
Oh, what's the brand? I was asking more than anything.
That is a good question. I do not remember. If you give me one moment, I could look it up.
The big brand around these parts is Rise, and you'll kind of see those.
AYR.
Oh,
dispensary, Woodmere, Ohio.
It's got to be Air.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Air dispensary.
Okay. What was your take on the Ohio way of doing dispensing?
So, from what I learned, the limits in Ohio are way less than what you could buy in Michigan. So, like, my brother was, trying to pick up some stuff.
Yeah.
And he wanted to buy, like, a vape pen and a couple packs of gummies.
Yeah.
And, like, in Michigan, I've seen people buy that kind of stuff themselves all in one, like, transaction,
Yeah.
But, like, the vape pen alone was enough to, like, reach his Ohio limit for the day. So, like, he had to break, like, the thing up, like, I'm not gonna lie, I bought him the fucking vape pen, and then he got the gummies. It was like, so someone could look up my purchase record and it shows that I bought a vape pen, but it wasn't for me. I didn't partake in it.
Had he bought stuff another time already in the month, and maybe that's what pushed him over?
No, because the limits are daily.
Huh.
So it's like literally like each day he could buy one vape pen, and that's it. Like there's so much flour you could buy, but they're all equated, So
I'm gonna blame that dispensary because your boy done walked out with a lot of weed. I'm gonna let you know from some local dispensaries over around these parts. So I'm gonna just pin on that particular dispensary being on some weird shit.
I don't know. It's what the guy was saying. What do they call them? The weed kind of.
They're bud tender. Yeah.
Bud tender. Okay, I didn't know if they had a fancy term like how like there's like the wine.
The sommelier.
Sommelier. Yeah.
No, those
you know what I'm trying to say.
Oh my gosh.
It was funny though because like I was expecting it to be like crowded or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, we walked in. They checked the IDs. We went immediately back to the room and. It was kind of like just like a giant desk that went from one wall to the other with like iPads on it and like registers. Yeah. And then they had like a wall on the other side where it showed like a bunch of different products and stuff just on shelves.
Yeah.
And then like my brother had to pick stuff off the iPad, but he just talked to the bud tender guy and then told him what he was looking for. And the guy made suggestions and told him about the specials and all that stuff. And that was it. There wasn't like a giant room or anything like, and most of the dispensaries I've ever been in aren't like giant rooms, like just the one in Vegas really. But like, it was kind of just nondescript, you know. The people in there were very clearly into weed, like the sales staff. Like, you know, they were friendly. They were definitely trying their best to like provide like friendly service.
Yeah.
So you know, like I said, I didn't personally like purchase anything for my use. So like, I don't know what my brother paid for the gummies. I wasn't really paying attention, so I can't really cost compare to Michigan. But I'm pretty sure it was more expensive. But, you know, like all in all, like it was nice to not have to drive 2.5 hours away for that. You know, just we like the only reason we even went there is because we were across the street getting dinner at Agave and Rye. And I was like, oh, you guys know there's a dispensary over there. And they're like, oh, really? Let's go.
The one over here by Burger King, constantly busy. Busy in ways that I'm like, who's coming here? Why are so many people coming here? Because it was initially the only medical one we had around here as well before it became, you know, adult use. And so it is always popping and they shit always fucking up. And I hate going to it. I only go to it because Vanessa will be like, could you go pick this up for me? And I'm like, fine. But I don't like going there. But then the one over here by the rapid station, nearer the rapid station, I guess I'll describe that. Super nice. It's the more recent one. It's wide open. It's pretty wide open when you go into it. They actually had a wall and door situation that was there that they have since torn down and have patched over. I'm like, what happened here? Why'd you take the door down? And I guess because the state didn't require them to have it anymore. Because basically it was like you walk in one door, the one locks behind you, walk through the other door situation.
Oh, like a bank.
Yeah, they got rid of that. And super, like I said, super sweet staff, always nice. But the thing is, the one by Burger King always has really, really good deals, like amazing deals. So it's like kind of like I can understand why it's popping over there. Currently, the law in Ohio, our THC levels are bonkers. We have such high THC levels that are legal in the state until they fuck it up and change the law. So our weed is actually real dank. We got a real good product here in the great state of Ohio. It's just, like you said, they have these weird measures and things like, oh, you can only buy so much and so forth and so on. It's like, if I went to the liquor store, I could buy them bitches out and you wouldn't say a goddamn thing. So why are you going to be weird about me buying some chronic? It's stupid and it's just old mindset. And I wish, you know, they get the fuck over themselves.
Yeah, my brother told me that he DoorDashed edibles the one day.
I don't know if that's possible. Or maybe it wasn't because you know you can get the fake THC that they basically sell at gas stations.
I mean, I like based on what he said, I can't confirm it. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
But he said he's had it delivered. And I know people who've had the drinks delivered.
Yeah. And again, those are made with that THC 8, which is not real. It's not. It's basically made. It's derived from hemp and not from actual cannabis. So all that shit is still, and they're trying to actually add that to the law where they can actually kind of regulate that in Ohio because minors can buy that shit. So, yeah, I would go to my dispensary, local dispensary, and I'll buy some real shit and not fuck with that gas station kratom and other shit. You know what I'm saying? The THC 8. Bullshit, because no thank you. And I don't need chemically manufactured chronic. They now sell in my state good shit. But you are I'm still the thing is Michigan still has way better pricing. And when and if they change this law in the great state of Ohio regarding these measures, people are going to just start going back up there again to go get their shit because ain't no point in trying to deal with Ohio's bullshit and them ruining how much we can have and so forth. It's like leave it alone. We vote. It's more of us than it is of y'all, and we voted yes on this. Just bullshit. I hate it. Oh, let me share y'all this fancy. Like I said, this is not what I meant by fancy barometers, but they do have some nice barometers, man. click over here. Just kind of scroll through. Oh, I didn't mean to click on that image, but that car one right there is pretty sweet. Yes.
The how much is my body going to hurt today meter.
That was kind of cool. I like, oh, there's it's like right there. I just like the way that looks. It's got again. See, there you go. That's barometric swag right there. That one right there is like definitely swagged out. That's fly. This is kind of dope too. Yeah, you can get real fancy with your barometers, people. And why is this here? Is this a restaurant called Barometer? It is Barometer Waterfront Grill. Is that serving you what looks like Ritz in
Orange Beach, Alabama? Oh no, those are the pita bites. I've had those. Like my buddy bought them at the January recently. Yeah, like that's pita bread, and I don't know what the hell they're dipping it in though.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out maybe like a crab situation. Huh. Word up. Get your dip on, people. There you go.
Get your dip on. Get your dip on.
Get your dip on. Oh, shit. I didn't mean to. Oh, no. I'm on the wrong screen. F11 this screen. And then F11. Click over here and F11 this screen. Well, thank you for sharing tales of adventure, tales of anxiety and trying to be better about it and so forth and so on. It's good to good to hear your voice because you're my homeboy. And thank you for sharing with the listeners what's been going on in your world a little bit. I talked to you about Nintendo. I really talked y'all ear off about Nintendo. So, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know what that is. Is there anything else being cracking in my realm that needs to be? I told you about the work situation last week, so y'all are hip to that as well, listeners. Still using the new mic setup because, like I said, I have lost faith in this other one. Although, like I said, I have been in multiple Zoom meetings with this microphone over here. It works just fine, so I know it works. It was just some kind of hiccup with this particular thing, and so sorry. I had to try to. Oh, but you know what? I wonder if I'm going to play something and see if you can hear it, Box. I'm sure it'll record because this is going to be my computer sound coming through, but I wonder if it'll play on your side. So let me just go to Spotify right quick. Actually, you know what? I had a video playing on YouTube. I'll just push play on that bitch. And you can tell me if you hear it. It looks like a no.
I definitely didn't hear anything.
That's all good. So I could hear it, so that's nice. But alas, that means playing stuff on the podcast becomes a little bit of a bit more of a challenge, but we'll figure it out. Because again, as I showed off last week, we have buttons on this device, so you can kind of hear. Did you hear that?
I did the womp womp.
Okay,
womp, womp.
There you go. So you can kind of hear stuff if I set myself up ahead of time, it'll be all the better for it. So worry not. We got magic like that. But yeah, ain't nothing really been calculating in my realm that needs a discussion or anything like that. There's real, like I said, I took the kid to go get their tux for prom because prom is coming up. So we went to go do a little tux shopping and their date got their dress. So that was lovely. And so we got that taken care of last week at the mall. Going to the mall is weird because it's either, man, this is a very vibrant store in this mall. And then you go to the mall and it's like, man, most of these are empty storefronts. And it's like, not most actually we're Great Northern. Some, but it's like, it's a bunch of stores in there that's still popping. The food court's still popping. So it's like, it's weird what is not working in malls right now and what is working. FYE is closed. FYE not working no more. But Forever 21 not working. But now Forever 21, like many a thing in this country, is a victim of private equity buying them up and then taking on a bunch of loans and then selling them, even though they were a profitable venture. They were, which is what private equity seems to do. It seems to be just what they're made to do. Go in, buy a bunch of shit, and sell it. I want y'all to know, Joann's is closing, but Joann's has been profitable this entire time. And it seems to me if something is profitable, why are you able to go bankrupt off of it? It's because they took loans out to make the purchase. Just bonkers. Again, you take loans out to buy something, then you put that debt on that company's books that you just bought, and then you go bankrupt and don't have to pay back the loans. And of course, you make the money from the sale and the close of the thing you closed off. Party City is the same thing that happened with them. It's what they were trying to do with Red Lobster. What they did when that situation, when they came in and leverage bought out them, is because these are called leverage buyouts. They came in, bought all the Red Lobsters, sold the land the Red Lobsters were sitting on, because that's what kept Red Lobster straight these whole time. They owned the land they were on, and then leased it back to these Red Lobsters, thus putting them. It's upsetting how this shit works in this country. Capitalism will be what kills America, and it ain't gonna be just Trump. It's gonna be everybody who do the dirt that they do. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be just what comes and gets us when it's all said. A wild time to be alive. There you go. I bitched you a little bit. There you go. That was your tea time. Tea bitching about the bullshit this round. But each and every week we head over to Reddit. We delve a little bit deeper into the subreddit known as Am I the Ass? I believe all these. No, I do got one from Great Value AITA. So Great Value Am I the Asshole? And we go through those. We have a good time. And it also has its own little package too. Here, let me push play on that.
I swear that music is like pistol packing bitch, stupid heifer, some shit like that.
Okay, my phone was wildly loud. I did not expect to see video on my phone when I clicked that. It does say something like, oh, you know what? It ain't like I can't play it, so let's play it again. We're gonna play it again, people. Let's try to listen to the lyrics.
Snowpacking something stupid.
Never snowpacking, never slipping, something killer. Something I'm just not picking up on. So there you go.
We're pumping out subliminal messages to the listeners.
If I went and dug it up, actually, because I have a folder that has all the music I have. Actually, we have a service. It's called Upbeat. It's where we get all our music from. If you didn't know, now you do. And I can go to our purchase history. They're not actually purchased. I pay for the service every month, and I get unlimited downloads because I pay for the service every month. It's $7, people. I'm telling you right now, if you need music for anything, you should consider signing up for Upbeat. Well worth it. Also, I have a referral program. I have a link. So holler at your boy. I might be able to save you a couple shekels for it. Download history. Here we go. So let's go scrolling through what I pulled down.
It's just funny, some of the stuff that's out there. Like during the Cavs games, they've been playing some commercial for like a clinic for like Hep C testing or whatever, and like it's like the commercial some rapper that came out with like a Hep C song back in like 2017. We only know it's 2017 because my brother looked it up the other day while we were watching the game.
Holy smokes!
He like looked it up on Spotify. It had like 3 million plays or something like that.
Let's see. I'm trying to see when I would have pulled that music. That would have been more recent because I only started doing the video stuff recently. Let's hit this one. Nope. Although we will be using that one here shortly. Nope. All right, it's called Killer by Mountaineer. And let me see if I can look up Mountaineer and Ingenious. And let's see if I can get you some lyrics. That'd be fun. You just put me down a rabbit hole, my guy. Yeah. Alas, it doesn't look like it's coming up. Lakers versus Warriors here tonight. That'll be a fun one to kind of keep track of. Here, I'm going to put in parentheses music.
I found it on Music Vine, but like it doesn't have the lyrics.
Yeah. Before their new lineup changes. I mean, I can find stuff about them everywhere and everything, but yeah, you're correct. There are no lyrics. Even as a Spotify page, or I don't know what this persons or.
Oh man, Lady Gaga had a song called "Killa" that came out this year. Spelled exactly the same.
I wish I could reach it. It's over here. The Lady Gaga album is right over here on the rack over here. So we have the Zoetrope version of it. So if you film it with a camera, you can watch the. It looks like animation is occurring on the record. Anywho, I have pulled 3 Amadeus this week. One is real long, so long that I might just decline doing it.
I just remembered something that happened the other day that like would be a great story for the show. And I'm sorry that we're so far out of my segment, but like I feel like
so please.
So and it just came up because I was talking to my buddies on Discord. So when we left the Disturbed concert the other night, I was the designated driver, chauffeur. I planned the whole thing, like, and I'm fine with that role. Like, I prefer that role because I know I'm safe. I know I have transportation. I know where I'm going. I prefer that.
Yes.
So I picked my buddies up. They were, drinking, but like they were fine.
Yeah.
And we're like, if anyone's been to the Rocket Arena, they know that there's an escalator that goes from the arena down into the Tower City walkway.
Yes.
And so the 3 of us are on the escalator going down, and all of a sudden this woman is behind my buddy and she yells out his name, and he turns around and like they recognize each other because she was friends with one of his exes from like 12 years ago or some shit. And then she recognized my other friend, and she was very clearly inebriated in some way. And she goes, "Oh, it's so-and-so." She goes, "Remember when I tried to sleep with you? And keep in mind, we're on an escalator going down in a crowd of people who just left one of the most popular band's concerts in like existence. They were literally there doing the 25-year anniversary concert of their like debut album. The arena was damn near sold out. There's people everywhere." And she's having this whole conversation about how she saw him on Tinder and she swiped left and all this shit. The whole time she's standing next to her husband, who owns a local whiskey company by the name of the city.
Wow.
And so this conversation doesn't stop on the escalator.
Why would it?
And it's a long walk down this hallway to get back to the parking lot.
If you don't know the tunnel that goes from the stadium area Cleveland to the parking lot, it's a very, very long tunnel. And so I learned a lot of information in this walk. Apparently this woman is poly. And so like
she was open to sleeping with my buddy, even though she's married to the guy standing right next to her, who I felt so sorry for because he looked like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening right now. But he did it with a smile on his face. So either he was also hoping to sleep with my buddy, or he was just trying to be a good sport because, like, it honestly, from an outsider's perspective, it felt like someone who was in a poly relationship who didn't want to be in a poly relationship, but being in a poly relationship was the only way to save their marriage. So he's just rolling with it. That's the look this guy had. Whether or not that's the case, I don't know. I never met this man before this event happened, and I haven't seen him since. But he didn't look like he had the look of a guy who was completely cool with what was happening in that moment, of his wife proclaiming to an entire crowd of people that she tried to sleep with this man like 12 years ago, and he turned her down, and that she saw him on a dating app recently and swiped left on him because of what he did back in the day.
Jesus Christ. So, listeners, is this woman an asshole? Because you could be out here claiming poly or ethical non-monogamy or whatever, but if the man looking and seeming like he feel like he getting cucked, it's not a good time. Okay. Wowzers. I'm counting it. I'm not doing the long one now. I'm closing the long one. It's not even getting read. All right. I got two of them for you then now at this point. One's real short. One's kind of whatever. One's medium. Just
read whichever one you want.
Am I the asshole for leaving a family gathering and taking the cake with me after getting my feelings hurt? You already know how I feel about cake, sir. You good. Take the cake.
It better be actual cake.
Yes, it is. And the other one, am I the asshole for not telling my stepmom my cousin is gay?
No.
We're going to run through that one. That was, like I said, that was a little short one. Am I asking for not telling my stepmom my cousin is gay? I, 16 female, have a cousin my age. My stepmom, 62 female, is her grandma. What? Make that work for me, Box. I, 16 female, have a cousin my age. My stepmom is her grandma.
Hold on now. So you have a cousin, which means it would be like your mom or dad's sister or brother. Their stepmom is your so it would have to be like a half sibling situation.
No. My stepmom, the 16-year-old female who is telling the stories, stepmom is their grandma.
Yeah. So like, all right. So there would have to be like a half sibling situation of sorts, right? Where like,
okay, so my cousin is
is your brother, your parents' siblings kid, which means so they have to be related, unless this is like a play cousin or something.
I don't know, because that just don't seem like a play cousin situation.
Yeah. So all right. So
never mind. Hey, you know what? Clear as day, it says my stepmom's her grandma, and in parentheses, weird dynamic. I know, so weird that I can't even do the math on it. But if y'all figure it out, you holler at your boy. My cousin has. Oh, hold on. I told you I try to be better about doing this, so I'm looking at the screen. My cousin has been dating a girl for almost a year now. I've known she was gay for a while. My stepmom, however, did not. She is very homophobic and thinks it's completely morally wrong to be gay. She had no idea my cousin was gay until she went to her birthday party where she met her girlfriend. She freaked. My stepmom came to me and asked if I had known, which I told her I did. She started to cry and asked, how could you keep this from me? You're my family. Yeah. You're supposed to tell me these things. I do not feel like it was my place at all to tell her that though, which I explained to my stepmom. And she kept countering with that same argument. She barely has contact with my cousin anymore and was upset for weeks because I didn't tell her. I feel like maybe I should have warned her or let her know. Am I the asshole for not telling her earlier?
No, like it's on your cousin to decide who they want to come out to
for
so
certain.
No.
Also, it's their grandma. Does that matter? You know what I'm saying? It's like it's that cousin's grandma. So it's like maybe that cousin's parents know and are just fine with it. And they know their mom wouldn't fuck with it, so they don't fuck with her. Random. Man, that one's gonna bother me for a while, Box. My stepmom is my cousin's grandma. I just don't know how this family tree works.
My stepmom be my cousin's grandmother.
Yeah, make that work for me.
I need like a chat GPT or something. Is anyone allowed to use chat GPT?
I have no idea. I've never done it.
Oh, yeah, apparently I can. Okay. How can someone be... Wait, hold on. How can my stepmom be my cousin's How can my stepmom also be my cousin's grandmother? All right, there's a little black dot that's pulsing. Okay, here. Oh man, it spit it out. Here we go.
Okay.
That sounds like an interesting family dynamic. This situation can happen if your stepmom is also your cousin's grandmother through marriage or some family relationships. Here's how it could work. Your father married your stepmom's daughter or son, your stepmom's biological child from a previous relationship has a child, which is your cousin. Your stepmom is your father's wife and your cousin's mother or father, it's in parentheses, is your stepmom's daughter or son. Therefore, your stepmom is also your cousin's grandmother because she is the mother of your cousin's parent. In simpler terms, your stepmom could be your cousin's grandmother through the family connections via her child and their child, quote, or parentheses, your cousin. It seems like a lot, but there's multiple avenues here for this to work.
Don't that seem dangerous? Like somebody should be mad in that situation?
Yeah, because I guess they never specified that their cousin would be like their step cousin or whatever. So, like, that would make sense then, I guess, yeah?
I get it. Hey, let's check out some of the comments. Not the asshole at all. There's a reason you knew your cousin was gay and your stepmom did not. It's because your cousin didn't choose to personally disclose that information to your stepmom because it's not her business. I know that certain members of my extended family are LGBT, and I also know that there are members of my extended family who are not aware of their sexuality of every other extended of the sexuality of every other extended member of the family. Excuse me, family member. It's not for me to go around telling everybody everything about everybody else, and it's not for you to have to do that either. Your stepmom is the asshole in this situation for being homophobic and for freaking out about your cousin's sexuality. Your stepmom sucks. God damn. Tell them how you really feel, my nigga. Basic. Oh, here's this is a phone. Everybody else is over here trying to ride through this shit. Hold on. Your stepmom is your cousin's grandma, and she thinks being gay is morally wrong? Not the asshole. Your cousin didn't tell her for a very valid reason. Somebody responds, right, literally groomed her nephew, but she thinks she can be a voice of morality. Crazy. Like, wow. And this person says, no, because I'm literally trying to figure out what the fuck this means, what the relationship is on the family tree. See, we're not alone, Box. Basic version is her stepmom is also her great aunt. Think of it this way. OP and cousins have parents that are siblings. Grandma must be a parent to one of them, but OP's dad or mom is also one of those siblings. So OP's dad either married his wife/girlfriend's mother after they were done, or he's with his biological aunt. I find the second far more likely, but both are pretty gross. Edit. The reason I find the second more likely is the OP would have grown up referring to her as a great aunt if it was the first option. If that was the case, she'd realize how weird this is and not casually bring it up. She's been taught it's mostly normal, therefore I'm inclined to believe the second. Either way, her great aunt and stepmom are still the same person. Might not be the bio aunt. Could be Bio's uncle wife, which is very Targaryen. All right, last one, y'all. Am I the asshole for leaving a family gathering and excuse me, let's do that. Start that over again. Am I the asshole for leaving a family gathering and taking the cake with me after getting my feelings hurt? I, 27 female, hold on, before we wrap that off. Box, is this person an asshole?
No.
Agree. You know how I feel about cake. I, 27 female, hit 1 year sober from alcohol at the beginning of the year. This was a huge accomplishment for me. It was bigger to me than finishing college. I told my family the next time we were together for a family dinner, I had something to celebrate. This all happened at my mom's. The kids were playing and the adults were hanging out. I took a moment to share that I'd reached 1 year sober and how good I felt about it. They went with, "Oh, that's what you were talking about? And hasn't been a year already." I am embarrassed to admit I hoped someone would say they're proud of me. My brother-in-law Steve looked at my sister and they both said, "Well," at the same time. And she said, "Since we're all here, niece just got into a specific gymnastic thing. It's been a long road, but she did it." Steve popped some wine they'd already brought and started giving everyone glasses and cups. He made eye contact with me and his face fell. I had this gnawing feeling, so got up from the table and I took a walk. I tried to get through the moment mentally so I could be present for my niece to celebrate her success. But when I got back to the house, my sister asked me why I left without saying anything. I said I needed a minute to myself. She looked at me funny and said, "Okay." I said I'd shared something I was very proud of, and she bulldozed over it. My mom put her hand up and asked me what my news was. I said that I told them I hit 1 year sober. Mom said my generation always wants praise for doing the bare minimum. That wasn't an accomplishment. It was just what I needed to do, like graduating high school. I tried to make it through dinner, but found myself just not in the mood anymore. I decided to go home. Here's the direct thing I am being called a butthead for. I brought a small berry chantilly cake, my favorite, to share after dinner. It was the thing I decided I earned. The kids had definitely seen it. On my way out, I decided to take it home with me. I guess when they realized the cake wasn't in the garage fridge anymore, my sister called and asked me why I took it. I said I did because it was my cake to celebrate my accomplishment. She said word for word, "Are you fucking serious? Oh my God, Emma, grow up. You are such a fucking baby." My mom later texted me directly to tell me how disappointed she was that I threw a tantrum because my niece got more attention than me. I don't think her read of what happened is right. But that is why I'm asking you guys. Am I the asshole? Because I took the cake in the end. Was that really childish of me, considering the kids saw it and they didn't get any? As I was putting on my shoes to leave, Steve found me and directly apologized and said that he was completely oblivious in the moment. I know he did not do anything to intentionally hurt me. Steve was the brother-in-law who popped a bottle of wine earlier in the story. There's an edit that follows this, but taking just what I've gained you, is this person an asshole?
I feel for the kids. It's pulling at my heartstrings. But the kids, man, it's the fucking kids. I would have said no, but the kids.
In some situations, in this particular situation, it has to be fuck them kids. Because her family was shitty to her, and unnecessarily so at that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying they had to bow down, kiss her butt because she was sober. But clearly this meant something to her, and y'all couldn't even just give her a little bit. Hey man, that's dope. Well done. Just a well done and attaboy. Probably would have got you some cake that night. But instead, you decided to be like, you kids always want some props. Or, well, my kid did something dope, so that's better than your shit. And it's just unnecessary. And yeah. I'm sorry, kids. You didn't get to enjoy the cake that your aunt bought. But that's your mama's fault and your grandma's fault. The edit is as follows. Edit follow-up. Hi, everyone. I just want to follow up and say thank you to everyone for their responses. I have a lot to think about when I next go to therapy, today actually, and work on. I do want to clear a few things up that I've seen come up in a lot of the comments. I am not an AA. I'd tried AA before, and it was not compatible for me. It works for a lot of people very well, and I'm happy for you if it works for you. So stuff about the steps and personal inventory are not relevant to me. It was a party for my niece. It wasn't a party for my niece. It was just a family dinner. The cake was mine and wasn't brought for my niece. I didn't take it because I wanted to get back at them. I took it because it's my favorite cake, and I wanted to eat it because it was the thing I had earned. I don't know why they opened wine for my niece getting into the gymnastics program. That is weird. Why are we popping bottles of wine for gymnastics, for a child's gymnastics? But also, I don't think it's my place to say anyone else has a drinking problem. And I prefer to have my eyes on my own paper. I like the way that she put that. I keep my eyes on my own paper. We got some glow in the dark comments here. They had wine, which naturally excluded you, right? After you told them your good news. I'm glad you took the cake. Same. The OP has a glow in the dark comment beneath this, so people must really be whatever about this. So at the bottom of the post, I talk about my brother-in-law, Steve, who was the one who opened the bottle. He apologized directly to me for it. And that's what the look he gave me was about, I think. He said that he was just on autopilot with my sister talking, and that when he saw me out, he was like, oh, fuck, that was a stupid thing to do. I am not mad at Steve. And I know he didn't do it on purpose to upset me or anything. And then that, I think somebody responds to that, and it's not glow in the dark, but there's a glow in the dark underneath that one. The one that somebody responded to that's not glow in the dark says, I think I'm confused as to why celebrating a child's accomplishment with wine. While the kids are outside, seems like mom and dad cared more about getting a pat on the back and a drink with the adults rather than letting their daughter share her own news with the family and celebrating in an age-appropriate way. Proud of you, OP. Don't let anyone diminish your accomplishment ever. I hope you ate the fuck out of that cake, not the asshole. Last one, and this is again a glow in the dark comment. Yeah, I see why OP struggled with. That's some bullshit. This is more Reddit judge shit. I see why OP struggled with drinking with a family like this. Who needs enemies? OP, congrats on your progress. Don't feel badly at all about doing what you needed to do in order to distance yourself from these toxic people. I don't know if these people are toxic. And make healthy emotional choice. I hope you send them all a selfie of you enjoying the hell out of your cake before blocking their sorry asses. Jesus Christ. Reddit be making some assumptions, some leaps. It's like there was an asshole in this instant. That don't mean they're always like this. And toxic. I think that's a Mr. Fantastic reach. Don't do that. Those were your Am of the Assholes this week. Hope you enjoyed them. And if, like I said, if you ever think you got one you want the crew to take a look at, trust me, we will do it and judge it solemnly because that's what we do out here. Let's start wrapping it up. Entertainment for the week. Box, what have you been watching, read? Anything you've been doing that has entertained you in our time apart?
So it's been a couple weeks. I'm going to do my best to remember what I watched and what I said on the last show. I watched all of season 3 of Resident Alien. I watched all of the new season of Reacher. I am current on Daredevil minus this week. I have not watched yesterday's episode yet. I am current on Yellow Jackets in the new season. I watched Sonic 3 with my brother the other night. I watched the first couple episodes of the latest season of Invincible. I watched a mini series on Peacock that was starring Amanda Seyfried, where she was a police officer. I think it was called Long Bright River. I watched obviously wrestling, basketball. I think that's the usual found irrational. I have not watched Wicked yet because that seems like a big time commitment that I've not been able to bring myself to make.
It is long, but it doesn't feel like it at all. It's actually it goes by with such it's like I wonder how they managed to pace a movie of that length that way. It's fascinating to me. I think you'll really enjoy it. So when you do watch it, you let me know. Verdance tomorrow. You guys dropping?
Verdance was today.
Okay.
I didn't get to play though because prior commitments.
Sorry.
Well, like I said, I had to go to my dad's too because that got rescheduled.
Very good, very good. Well, hope you and the boys get your drop on soon and have a good time at the hospital. So these are the things I know about Verdance. That's it. And there's a helicopter involved. Yes, you can get in a helicopter, right?
There are helicopters on the map.
There you go.
I was watching people play today, and I'm like, it was bringing back a lot of memories.
Fair.
A lot of memories of getting my ass whooped.
I started Daredevil. I'm only 2 episodes in. I started episode 3. Episode 3 started in a way that had me like freaking out and worried for the character in it. And I immediately went and looked it up and read about that character. And I was like, I was right to be worried about this motherfucker. God damn it. So I have not gone back to watch the rest of that yet. Bunch of YouTube. You know what I've been watching. That's basically about it. I hadn't really watched any shows, any movies, or anything. I feel like I've been pulling movies to watch. You know what I actually watched out of the blue because TikTok has a habit of like putting up a scene from a TV show and you're like, what the fuck show is this? And they did that for an episode of House where a little person turned out to have a tumor. And that's what was actually preventing them from growing. Their mother was a little person, and they thought they were a little person in turn. But it turns out, no, they just had a tumor that was fucking up their growth. And as soon as the tumor would be removed, and with some rounds of medication, they would start growing and probably get to a more, not more, because that seems disrespectful to little people, but I forgot what
more average height.
An average height. There you go. They actually used a term for it in the show, and I wonder what it was. So I went and dug up that episode of House right quick on Hulu because all the House is on Hulu if you didn't know. And I ended up watching that whole episode. Damn good show, man. I don't know if So here's, of course, we grew up like this. So you think we want this? TV used to be 22 to 23 episodes of a show, an hour each, basically 45 minutes, but basically an hour with commercials. And I don't think I can watch TV like that anymore. It's too much. It's far too much. And of course, there's like 8-9 seasons of House. And I'm like, there's no way I can go back and watch all of House. But like I said, a couple of like sneaky little episodes or something pop up. I want to check out this Canadian show, Letterkenny, because I'm always seeing clips from it and it looks pretty hilarious.
Oh yeah. I have friends who've gone to see them live here. They've been here a couple times.
Oh, I didn't know that was what.
Yeah, they've done live shows at like Playhouse.
Are they a troupe of some sort?
I don't fucking know. I've never seen the show. I just know that I have friends who have gone to see them live.
Okay. Yeah, that's strange to me. It seems like that seems to me like I went to go see House live because it's a TV show. It's like, I don't know. That seems so weird. But yay, there you go. You got it, folks. We out here. I started back into proper Alan Wake 2, and I really got it going this time. So I'm like, hell yeah, we rolling. Alan Wake 2 is one, it's a fire-ass game. But I'd gotten stuck somewhere, and it turns out I was not stuck. I had just kind of stuck myself. And now we're rolling again in Alan Wake, and I'm having a great, great time in that game. Really, really enjoying it. I highly recommend it. It keeps going on sale everywhere. If you think you are into a little bit of a thriller kind of video game situation, little shooty. Actually, it involves a flashlight and a gun because you got to. Anyway, if you think you fuck with that, the physical copies of Alan Wake sell for been going on sale recently for like $30, and I think it's a bargain at twice the price. So consider getting that. Let me reach back here. Meant to talk about this last week, y'all, and I literally forgot about them. It's a group my kid put me on to. This is a TV Girl, and the album is Who Really Cares. They independently release this, and I got a copy of that, and it's, inner sleeve, and it comes on what I think is quite a lovely bit of a kind of a smoke, but also speckly vinyl situation there. That way. And I think it's really nice, and it sounds nice, and this is a really kick-ass album. TV Girl, Who Really Cares? Highly recommend giving that a spin or listen to it on Spotify and the like if you are down with the get down. And yeah, dig that, people. I also listened to the Juice soundtrack the other day on vinyl because me and Gabe was talking about Juice, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna spin that." We were talking about the grossness of the Aaron Hall song "Don't Be Afraid." Go listen to that song, and whew, how do we only put R. Kelly in jail? We should. It's not like Aaron Hall should have went to jail based on that song. Just point it out to you. I'm just gonna say to you, man. So that's just what it is. That's what's been on and popping there. But let's see. Yeah, wrote down all the boxes. We got a title. We got everything. Yeah, you know what? Hey, let's stick a fork in it and call it done. Hey, do me a solid. Tune in every Thursday. You know, we're here every Thursday, usually around 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We're doing this live, like tonight. You can typically join in on the chat on Twitch and or YouTube. Please make sure to like and comment on this video on YouTube. And please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you want to support the show financially and have a few bucks you can toss our way, consider joining us over on Patreon, where members at the $5 tier get extra content each month and early access to new shows. We also got merch over at tpublic.com/user stage Krunchy and Milk, all one word. Krunchy, of course, being spelled with a K. And feel free to give us a call at 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311. We certainly love to hear from you. Our missing man is the 216's own Tatum 216. Our now present man is the 216's own Lunchbox 2099.
Yeah.
See, that worked out. I am the Internet Terror 713. Don't make me push you into traffic. We'll do this again next time. Peace.
What happened to your ass? It used to be beautiful.